Hey everybody, I'm Hero King, and welcome back for some more Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl! Woo! Another episode. Going strong. What are we on now? 8? 9? 8? I'm already losing track. This is... Last time in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, we did a lot of Pokemon bios, and we explored the first half of Route 205. And today, we're going to be focusing mainly on just getting through Eterna Forest and exploring it, see what it has to offer. So without further ado, let's go! Hello, my name's Cheryl. And you are? Oh, okay, so your name's King. I'm sincerely glad to meet you. King, may I have... King, may I ask you for a big favor? I want to get through this forest, but I'm afraid of doing it alone. I've heard that there's a sinister group of people called Team Galactic about. I think there'll be safety in numbers. Please, may I go with you? You decided to go with Cheryl! I'll keep her Pokemon in perfect health. So entering Eterna Forest, we meet Cheryl. Cheryl's a pretty unique NPC, and you'll see for multiple reasons, as you'll probably see here. Okay, we get an antidote. Do we ran into a random wild Pokemon? Man, they really toned down the encounter rate in this game. Can I get a wild Pokemon, please? As you'll see here, when we go into battle with Cheryl in our party, wild Pokemon battles become double battles. Now, this isn't going to be like a permanent thing, like wild Pokemon battles aren't going to be double battles from now on. It's just while you have Cheryl in your party, Pokemon battles are going to be double battles. This is, like, in battles, Cheryl will have a Chansey that she can use to help you out with fighting. Here, I will go over the... I thought I was prepared for doing this. I have notes here. So, in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Cheryl will fight alongside you with her signature Pokemon Chansey with the ability Healer, which... in battle has a 30% chance at the end of every turn to heal the Pokemon that is beside Chansey, or the Pokemon that has it rather. So if your Pokemon ever gets inflicted with a status condition like poison or paralysis, here in Eterna Forest, which is pretty likely considering the Pokemon that we can run into here, at the end of every turn she will end up healing that status off of your Pokemon, which is pretty nice. Along with that, she also has the moves on her Chansey: Sweet Kiss, Disarming Voice, Tail Whip, and Life Dew. Really the main focus here, it would be Life Dew, as I think that's a pretty unique move that people don't really see too often. Life Dew is a move that heals both it and its allied partner for 25% of their of each Pokemon's maximum HP. Something to note as well is that Cheryl does actually change a bit compared, in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl compared to the Diamond Pearl and her Diamond Pearl and Platinum counterparts. As in the original Diamond and Pearl, she actually had a pretty useless ability in Natural Cure, which, while Natural Cure isn't a super bad ability in itself, it's useless for her joining you in Eterna Forest, as she can't switch out. It's her only Pokemon, so Natural Cure does nothing. She also comes with the moves Egg Bomb, Refresh, and Soft Boiled, so she's less of a support and more of like an extra body on the field to tank hits, really. As Soft Boiled heals Chansey itself for 50% of its max HP, Refresh heals Chansey's own status conditions, not your own. And Egg Bomb is just 100 base power normal type move, I believe, with like 75 accuracy, which, while yes, Egg Bomb is a pretty strong move in itself, Chansey has really pitiful attack stats, so it's not really going to be doing a whole bunch of damage. Something I did want to note here, though, is that we have this cool little mossy rock here. The rock is covered in moss. It feels pleasantly cool. This doesn't do anything for now, however, we will touch back on this later when we can do something with this. Something to note as well in the Pokemon Platinum as well, is that in the Pokemon Platinum, her Chansey was actually level 20, it was scaled up to level 20 instead of being level 15, so... yeah, so... Her Pokemon was slightly stronger in that game. And something you'll also see as well, we did take damage. We did use up some of our moves PP in that last battle. However, Staravia's totally and completely healed now. While you're traveling with partners in this game, you will have... they will always heal your Pokemon to completely full your entire party after every single battle. So you don't have to worry about... stocking up on healing items when you go through dungeons. If you find these guys, as they'll just heal you for free. Going forward here, we have 2 trainers. We're just out on a power walk. What's cool, you might ask? No, I'll tell you anyway. Bug Pokemon! So... when entering trainer battles, if it would normally be a double battle, Cheryl will fight alongside you with her Chansey, and instead of making it a double battle, it will make it a multi-battle. In multi-battles, you have your own set of Pokemon while your partner has their own set of Pokemon, and essentially you just kind of fight together. Cheryl makes her own moves with her Chansey, you make your own moves with your own Pokemon. Nothing too different from double battles, but it is like something. Something to note on as well is that, as I'm sure from the way I'm talking about this, you can kind of tell that finding like buddies to buddies in the game to like explore with in dungeons, this isn't going to be the only instance of this happening in the game. Cheryl is actually one of 5 different trainers in the game called stat trainers. And essentially, there is a trainer that you can tag alongside with in the game that kind of resembles each stat in the game. So Cheryl having a Chansey, she resembles the HP stat, so she's the HP stat trainer, while Cheryl represents the HP stat with Chansey, as Chansey has the second highest HP stat in the game. Absolutely insane HP. And there are 4 others, one that resembles attack, one that resembles special attack, one that resembles speed, and then because they didn't feel like making 6 trainers, they just made the 5th one be both defense and special defense. Sending out the whole Wormhole line here. We take that out in one shot. Bug Pokemon, while they do evolve pretty quickly, they have pretty low base stat totals, at least for late game, at least. So if you have any evolved Pokemon, they kind of take care of them pretty easily. Pachirisu is actually like, Chansey's not doing much to take down this Pachirisu here, nor is Chansey healing us, so we're actually taking like a ton of damage from this Pachirisu. I think another Spark might knock us out potentially. Oh, especially if it snaps out of confusion here. Do we live it? Yo! Hanging on with 4 HP. But the paralysis though. Okay. Chansey finally using Life Dew, seeing that we're like on death's bed here. Oh, actually, is Healer gonna come into play here? Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. We'll use another quick attack here. It brings it down to red. We'll just barely live this again. 5 HP, so we got like a net gain of 1. Oh, and I think this should knock it out. Disarming Voice. Yeah, there we go. Good job, Cheryl. Got the nice chip damage. Good job. Oh, you. It bugs me when people ignore the awesome coolness of bug Pokemon. Well, I think that your bug Pokemon are stinky. Found a Paralyze Heal just sitting out in the open here. Something I do want to show off, though. If I could run into a wild Pokemon. Come on! You know what? Screw it. We'll just run into another trainer battle. If we run into another wild Pokemon, naturally it'll happen. When a trainer and a Pokemon bond is one, a wondrous power is born. I see it. I see it. I see you going down in defeat. I don't know whose future you're reading, but I'm pretty sure you're reading your own there. Alright, Psychic Elijah sent out Abra, and Psychic Lindsay sent out another Abra. Now, I don't think they have anything like too big, because I don't think Abra learns too many moves through level up, so I don't know, it might have confusion here. It might have the elemental punches. I forget which moves these guys have. But they're extremely frail, so they go down in one hit, so it's not like it really matters anyways. Staravia and Luxio gains a level up there. Nice, nice. Oh, Energy Ball. Well, that's not going to do too much to either of us, because Chansey has that massive HP stat and like a really good special defense stat to boot. And we can hit him with another wing attack. I'm sure you noticed there that I selected the trainer or the trainer box that didn't have a Pokemon there, and it just auto locked on to the other Pokemon anyways. That's just a nice little thing that they made sure that, you know, you can't accidentally screw yourself over for mashing buttons accidentally if that happens in battle. It's pretty nice. Is it? It is I that have gone down in defeat. Yes, it is, and we got some money. Some money. Alright, this is a big patch of grass here. Great Ball, nice, nice. I actually did stock up on some Pokeballs, just in case. But yeah, we do have this grass here. How have I not run into anything yet? We got a potion. Can I run into a Pokemon? Please? I actually want to run into one. Okay, here we go. I wanted to show something off. So, in Pokemon battles, here in Eterna Forest, because Pokemon battles are in double battles, I wanted to show something off. If you try to throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon here, it's no good. Oh, that went by really fast. Wait. It's impossible to aim unless there's only one Pokemon. That kind of does that really quick. It doesn't really give you the chance to read it all, unless you have it on like slower text. But yeah, here on battles in Eterna Forest, you have to knock out one of the other opposing Pokemon first before you can start throwing a Pokeball. So here I'll take down this Budu here. The Wild Nere's Pound. Okay. Chance uses life dew. We really needed that, 3 HP heal there. Oh my gosh, we probably would have lost this battle if it wasn't for that. But yeah, now that we've done that, we can go ahead and throw a Pokeball now. And yeah, now we can go and catch the Neri. 1, 2, and it pops out. I don't really want a Baneri anyways. I just kind of wanted to show that you're able to throw, or in double battles, you cannot catch a Pokemon if there's 2 Pokemon out at the same time. So you have to knock one of them out before you can catch them. In the originals, I'm not entirely sure if it worked this way. I think in the originals, I think you just weren't able to catch Pokemon, period, during this time. Which is, like, kinda sucky. But you had to pretty much get through the entire Eterna Forest before you can catch any Pokemon in here that you saw that you liked. Okay, I'm just running circles now. But something to know is that there's something that I wanted to touch on, and that is shiny Pokemon. So something that has changed from the original Diamond and Pearl games to this game is actually the rate of shiny Pokemon that comes out. Or what's it? The rate of which shiny Pokemon pop up in. In the original, shiny Pokemon would appear at a ratio of exactly 8,192 chance, or a 1 in 8,192 chance. Ever since Generation 6, I believe, they pretty much half the chances of being able to find a shiny Pokemon. So now in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, it's actually they actually pop up twice as often. So now shiny Pokemon odds are 1 in 4,096 instead of the 8,192. As I was explaining that, I realized, you might be wondering, what is exactly a shiny Pokemon? You may ask, and I'll go fight a trainer while I explain this. We'll go ahead and read what you say. This forest is strange, it seems to fill me with energy. A strange presence has been felt. It is emanating from you! Wow! So a shiny Pokemon is essentially no different from a regular Pokemon. The only difference being is that they just look a little different, and they have a little animation that plays at the start of every battle when they come out. That's it. Pokemon that are shiny are no better or stronger or have no better potential than a regular Pokemon. It's really just a palette swap, by all means. Now, there are ways to lower this down by a significant amount later on in the game. Once you get to post-game, you actually do have methods of getting your shiny Pokemon odds all the way down to a 1 in 99 chance, which is actually like incredibly high odds. It's actually some of the highest odds that this series has ever seen, actually. So even with that said, though, this is actually pretty early in the game, and because when you run into wild Pokemon in this game, you run in Eterna Forest, you run into 2 wild Pokemon at a time. That, since you're running into 2 wild Pokemon at a time, that essentially means that you have double the odds to get a shiny Pokemon in a wild battle compared to normal. So, people who are hunting for shiny wild Pokemon in this game, if you really want to grind that hard and, go for that, what is essentially a 1 in, 2,046 chance to get a shiny Pokemon per encounter here, I mean, maybe you might want to try and do that. Not me, though, because I'm not insane, but I have seen people out there who have tried getting all the shiny Pokemon before they move on to the next route and stuff, and it definitely does take a lot. With that out of the way, though, before we get done here, because we are technically able to catch Pokemon here right now, I mean, we literally are able to catch Pokemon here right now, I wanted to take a quick second, just a quick intermission to go over some of the new Pokemon that we're able to run into here. We've already seen one of them already, being Baneri, but I want to take a quick second to go into the encounters here before we get done with Eterna Forest, because the exit is literally right in front of us. But I wanted to go over the encounters real quick, so we'll go over those right now before we exit Eterna Forest. Starting off with our first encounter in Eterna Forest. Baneri, evolving into Lopunny with the power of friendship. Okay, so let's go over the positives that Lopunny has first. Let's go over the good stuff first. Lopunny's a pretty fast Pokemon. Base 105 speed is pretty fast. That's it. That's legitimately it for this Pokemon. It's very, very underwhelming. You look at its next greatest stat is special defense, and it has like a decent defense stat, but then you look at its HP, and yeah, base 65, it's not really taking hits well at all. Even if it does have decent defensive stats, its HP is pretty low, so it doesn't got enough bulk to make use of the defensive stats that it has. Not just that, but you look at its offensive stats as well, and it is not hitting hard at all. It hits like a wet noodle. 76 physical attack, 54 special attack. It's doing next to no damage with those kinds of stats. Even when you look at its move pool, it is a normal type, so it does get access to a lot of good and unique moves. It gets access to like Fire Punch, or it gets all the elemental punches. It gets Thunderbolt, it gets Ice Beam, it gets like Blizzard and Thunder, I think, too. It gets High Jump Kick. It gets access to a lot of good moves. It's just that even though those are good, strong moves, its attack stats are too slow to really make use of them. So it does no good at dealing damage at all. It can't tank at all. So at the end of the day, it needs to rely on its ability to support the team in order to do anything. And with its move pool, it doesn't really support the team too well. Looking at its abilities are like really underwhelming. Cute Charm, 30% chance to infatuate the foe, but only if they hit you with a contact move. This is, like, odds are if you're getting hit with a contact move, you're probably getting hit by, like, a fighting type move, most likely. In which case, you're weak to it and you're probably getting one-shot by it anyway, so it's not like Cute Charm really even matters there to begin with. Not just that, but even if you do happen to live a hit from a physical contact move, it only is a 30% chance to proc, so you're not even getting it most of the time anyways. Looking at its hidden ability Limber, having immunity to paralysis is nice as it helps it preserve its speed stat. But once again, what are you using its speed stat for to begin with? It's not a good sweeper, and it doesn't really have a lot of good support moves either, so Limber isn't really helping it out. Honestly, the most unique thing that it has going on for it is its ability Klutz. Klutz is a really bad ability. With the ability Klutz, with the exception of Macho Brace, all items that it has, that it uses, have zero effect at all. If you have leftovers, it's not eating leftovers. If you have a choice band, it's not increasing your attack stat. If you have a choice scarf, it's not increasing your special attack stat. It just doesn't get any use out of items at all. Which, yes, it is sucky. It is a bad ability. You don't want to run this ability. However, it does have the move Switcheroo. So something that you can use in conjunction with Klutz is put an Assault Vest on it. And Assault Vest boosts your special defense stat by 1.5 times in return for not letting you use any status moves at all. While you are not going to be getting the boost to special defense with Assault Vest, you're not getting held back by the not being able to use status moves part of it either. So say your opponent is using a Pokemon like Fortress that likes to use a lot of supportive moves like Spikes and Stealth Rock. If you have Lopunny in against a Fortress, you can just switcheroo an Assault Vest onto the Fortress, and while it might get a big boost to special defense, which is not the greatest, it won't be able to set up stuff like Spikes and Stealth Rock, which can be really annoying. And that's really all the good I could really give to Lopunny and Baniri. Honestly, this is a really bad normal type Pokemon. The other normal type Pokemon that we have already met are way better than this one, I would say. And I believe that we will be encountering more better normal type Pokemon further on down the road as well. So yeah, don't worry about catching this Pokemon unless you just really like bunnies for some reason. Weirdos. But yeah, honestly, this is just kind of a train wreck of a Pokemon, and I wouldn't really recommend using it too much in my opinion. And exclusive to Pokemon Shining Pearl, we have Mischievous, which evolves into Mismagius after giving it a Duskstone. Honestly, there isn't a lot to say about this Pokemon other than it's just a solid ghost type Pokemon. Looking at its stats, it's not able to take a physical hit very well at all. With only base 60 defense and base 60 HP, yeah, it's getting one shot by a lot of physical hits. That's just kind of where the downsides end though. as you look at its other stats, and they're all pretty good. Base 105 special attack is pretty good. You're hitting decently hard with that. And while looking at its HP being only at 60, with base 105 special defense backing it up, it can actually take a special hit pretty decently well. And with a base 105 speed stat, it's able to outspeed a lot of other Pokemon and ensure that it's getting its own hits off as well. And while yes, it doesn't have like a huge variety of abilities it has to choose from, just having the ability Levitate is actually pretty good. Having immunity to ground is super good, as it gives you immunity to Earthquake, which Earthquake is a really strong physical move that a lot of Pokemon like to use. Also, just having 3 immunities in general is also really strong. Having immunity to normal, fighting, and ground, I mean, yeah, those are all move types that are typically used by physical attackers. So it doesn't need to worry as much about it having low defensive stats in the first place. But yeah, past that, there really isn't too much to say about this Pokemon. It's just solid. It's a pretty good ghost type. So yeah, Shining Pearl users, you kind of lucked out on this one. And to wrap up our encounters in Eterna Forest, we have the version exclusive Disappointment Murkrow. After giving it a Dusk Stone, it fully evolves into Honchkrow, and I'll go over the good sides of its evolution first. After evolving, it actually gets really good offensive stats. With base 125 physical attack and base 105 special attack, it becomes a pretty strong mix attacker. It also gets pretty good offensive abilities to back up these strong stats as well. With Moxie, every time that you score a KO on a Pokemon, you get an attack boost. So with that massive 125 physical attack stat, if you're able to net a kill with it, you're able to get the ball rolling, and you can just keep it rolling with Moxie essentially. And with Super Luck, it raises the critical hit ratio of your Pokemon by 1 stage. If you are able to raise a Pokemon's critical hit ratio by up to 3 stages, you are able to land critical hits 100% of the time, which is really good considering it has the move Night Slash. If you give a Honchkrow with the ability Super Luck a scope lens and you have it use a move like Night Slash, for example, you essentially get a base 105 Dark type move that you're using that bypasses any of your opponent's defensive buffs and also bypasses any of your own offensive buffs if you have any. This is pretty nice, as it lets it have access to a pretty strong hitting move that you don't have to worry about the damage ranges of it changing too much. Unfortunately, that is kind of where the good sides of this Pokemon ends. Honestly, there is an argument to be made that Murkrow itself is actually better than Honchkrow, and I'll give you the 2 main reasons why. First of all, it loses its hidden ability Prankster in return for the hidden ability Moxie. While yes, Moxie is a good offensive ability, the utility of having Prankster as your hidden ability instead would have been so much greater. Prankster is a fantastic ability that lets Pokemon with good supportive moves to shine as a supportive Pokemon. With Prankster, it's able to have access to a lot of really good status moves where it's able to get these moves off first, thanks to Prankster. Thunder Wave, Haze, Taunt, and it even gets access to weather moves like Sunny Day and Rain Dance as well, so you can have a Pokemon that has priority Rain Dance and priority Sunny Day to set up the weather for your allies, which can be pretty strong as well. So without the ability Prankster, it kind of loses all of its ability to be a supportive Pokemon for the team. So what's the other thing that's really holding this Pokemon back? Well, Murkrow originally has base 91 speed before evolving, which is pretty good. After evolving though, I don't know why, but they decided to lower its speed by 20 points, lowering it to 71. Why they would do this, it makes no sense to me. Honestly, why would you make a Pokemon that's innately just really good supportively, like more stronger offensively, but then give it less speed than it had before? Like honestly, if they had at least kept Murkrow's base 91 speed stat for Honchkrow, then you wouldn't have to worry as much about other Pokemon outspeeding you. With only base 71 speed, you're outspeeding almost nothing. So it forces you to have to run things like Choice Scarf if you want to try and be a sweeper with it. It's kind of sucky because, yeah, you might be able to score at least one revenge kill, but then after that, your opponent could just send in a Pokemon that resists the move that you're using, or is just a really good physical wall, and then you won't really be able to do anything after that. And then they can just get the revenge kill on you instead, because another one of Honchkro's glaring weaknesses. While yes, Honchkrow does have quite a bit better bulk than Murkrow, I would say, it still has really bad bulk. Yes, 100 base HP is good, but backing it up with only base 52 defense and 52 special defense, it is not able to take a hit at all. So even if you do manage to, set up and get the attack boost going with Moxie, you're not able to take a hit. Any Pokemon with priority is going to be hitting this thing super hard and is probably going to be one-shotting it most likely. Any Pokemon that's just faster than it naturally is going to be one-shotting it naturally most of the time. Honestly, this just really sucks, as it's just kind of the perfect storm of BS that this Pokemon got that really just, I mean, even if it still had the ability Prankster too, it could still help it out offensively, even if it did get minus 20 speed, as it does get access to Calm Mind in its move pool, which while, yeah, you still don't have the best special defense, if you had Prankster giving you priority Calm Mind, it at least gives you enough of a defensive boost to where you can take a special hit. And then after that, since you do have a good special attack stat, you can still hit pretty hard with that special attack stat too, as I do believe Honchkrow gets access to Dark Pulse. But yeah, unfortunately, this Pokemon with Super Luck just got really unlucky. There are better Dark types in the game, there are better Flying types in the game. I highly recommend you try using the others before you try using this one, unless you just really like Honchkrow for some reason. Okay, and coming back for the bios, we have found ourselves, surprisingly, pretty quickly to the exit already. Honestly, recording that, I was not expecting this to, just be over so soon, but, I mean, here we are now, so if we walk forward. Oh, there's the exit. I'm so relieved. We finally got here. I would have never been able to get through this by myself. Thank you so much, King. And there she leaves. And then our trainer automatically walks forward one space for some reason. I don't know why. In Pokemon Platinum version exclusively, before she departs with you, she will actually give you a Soothe Bell. Which is an item that you can put on your Pokemon to hold, and essentially your Pokemon has a happiness value attached to them, and essentially every step that you walk, it boosts the amount of happiness the Pokemon receives from walking with them by a little bit. I don't know the exact values, but essentially if you've got a Pokemon that you want to raise happiness with, you put that on them. And you just walk around with them a lot while you do your adventures in Sinnoh. Here is the latter half of Route 205. If we come up here, we can actually find some cool berries here. 2 cherry berries that heals paralysis. You got some pecha berries, however you want to pronounce them, that heals the poison. And we get some Aurum berries here. We get some cool 10 HP restorals here. And then, is that a hidden item right there? Is that? Yes, it is. We found a jar of honey right next to the sweet smelling tree. I'm not going to bother with that because that is a waste of time, to be frank. Over here, we do have some fishermen here. I think one of them doesn't try and battle you. However, I think 3 of them do. And one that I want to talk to specifically is this one, I think. I think it's this one. You're challenged by Fisher Andrew. I did not see how many Pokemon he has. He sends out a Magikarp. Alright, how many Pokemon did he have? I need to see this real quick. Intimidate, okay, come on, get it going. This is taking forever. Oh, okay, 6. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I believe Fisherman Andrew here has 6 Magikarp in his party, I believe. I think all of them know nothing but Splash. One of them might know Tackle. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it's just like a party of a bunch of level 10 Magikarp. Just knock them out one after another, just slap, get him out of there, slap, get him out of there. Boom, bang, and pow. Yeah, this trainer is really not that hard to fight at all. And if his Magikarps were just 5 levels higher, they would have at least had Tackle and would have been like somewhat of a threat, just because, you know, 6 Magikarps, they do have decent speed stat. Their attack is pitiful, so it's not like they're doing a whole bunch of damage or anything. But yeah, it's just a bunch of Magikarp, just kind of a joke. Oh well, I should have been a little more serious about this. Yeah, it's kind of like a joke, and I don't believe it's in every Pokemon game, but for a lot of the Pokemon games up to this point in time, there's pretty much always been at least like one trainer in the game that just has a full team of 6 Magikarps, and they just kind of do nothing. So it's just kind of like a joke trainer that I noticed, that I happened to notice in the games that I played growing up with Pokemon. Over here you can find a potion, very nice. And over here, we arrive in Eterna City. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and end things here for today. Yes, I do know we could have talked about a couple, well, like, there was like those trees in the Eterna Forest. We still can't do anything with those, but we will be able to deal with them soon in the future. And there were trainers that we could have fought, but, you know, I just kind of felt like getting a move on with the video. So, without further ado, I think I'm going to end things here for today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Wherever you're at in the world, I hope you have a great afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever you are at watching this, whenever you are watching this. And next time in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, oh god, what are we gonna do? Well, if we're gonna do what I think we're gonna do, we're gonna be covering a pretty big, major mechanic that was introduced in this game, compared to the other games. So, yeah, I got a lot of work ahead of me. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Hero King signing off, and I hope you have a good one. Peace! Bye-bye.